Bonnie and Jeremy Dages, I believe is how their name was pronounced, Dages. This is from WTSP. I don't know if it'll open. The disappearance of Bonnie Lee Dages and her son Jeremy. Brandon, Florida, 1993. Bonnie Lee Dages, and I hope I'm saying her name right, and her 4-month-old son Jeremy disappeared in April of 1993. The 18-year-old young mother had just graduated from high school. She took a job as a nanny and was raising her son as a single mother. For nearly 3 decades, her mother has searched for her and her baby. I don't think I can explain. It's always part of your existence. You're always looking and always waiting to hear something. You hope you will turn around and there will be an answer. Even if it's a deathbed confession, I just want to know what happened. 2 days after Bonnie disappeared, detectives found her car in the parking lot of a cash and carry store in Brandon that is now the site of a Walmart. Her mother says that she went there to meet a man. The person she was meeting was a person my age from our neighborhood, a man we believed that she had a relationship with. He was supposed to be meeting her. He asked her to borrow some money. She had come into a small inheritance. Police questioned the man that she had met up with, but found no evidence that he was involved in her disappearance. 28 years later, Bonnie's family is once again pleading to anyone to come forward. It's just unimaginable not knowing where they are and what happened to them. If there's any chance that they're alive or living another life, that's something we'll never know. There's an age progression picture of Jeremy. Some people wonder if maybe someone found the baby, and you would think that if the woman's body was never found, she was never found, the child was never found. Her car was found, so it sounds as though she got out of her car and maybe got into the car with someone else. Could the child be alive out there? Could he have been raised by someone else? Someone may have taken him. Maybe this man that came there to meet up with her and take her money from her, basically. Maybe he did something with the child. Then again, the mother and child both may have been murdered. There wasn't a whole lot of information on this story. What I was able to find was maybe 3 links. Bonnie Dages was an 18-year-old mother with a 4-month-old baby in 1993. She had graduated from high school. She had recently come into an inheritance from her grandparents and had around $50,000 in her bank account. On April the 29th, 1993, Bonnie took her son Jeremy and left in her minivan and headed to a nearby mall to meet a man that it was thought that she was having a relationship with. This was an older man. He was never named. He was questioned, and the police didn't really consider him a suspect in any way, despite the fact that he could very well have been the last person to see her alive. I'm not sure if he was the child's father. It's not mentioned in here who the child's father was. The mother was interviewed, and if she ever named the child's father, they don't say that here. I don't know that if they thought that this could have had something to do with the baby. The van was found 2 days later in the same parking lot, and inside was Bonnie's purse containing $75 in cash, Jeremy's diaper bag, but his car seat was missing. It sounds like maybe she took the car seat out, put it over into someone else's car, and went somewhere with someone else, or she could have been grabbed, and the baby could have been grabbed. She had taken $15,000 cash out of the bank as a loan to this older man, this man that she was supposed to have been having a relationship with, and that money was missing. The rest of her money is still in her bank account. Her mother, I guess, had her declared dead in 1999, so I'm guessing that her mother probably was over her estate. This man was the same age as her parents, but they were supposed to have been in a relationship. I don't know if this man was married. The fact that his name was never put out there publicly could be that he was married. The $15,000 that she took out of her bank was gone, and did he get that money? Did he ever say, yes, I met her and she gave me this money and I went on my way? Or did he claim to not ever have seen her that day? I don't know, because there's not a whole lot about him. The mother says that at this point she would even welcome a deathbed confession just to put closure to this case. There's a good possibility that this little baby, this Jeremy, who could still be out there alive. We've all heard the story of this Holly that was on, I think it was on 2020 the other night. This little girl named Holly, whose parents were found murdered in Texas back in the 1970s. And her family never knew whatever happened to her. They never knew what happened to her parents either until many years later. Their bodies had been found and they were labeled as Jane and John Doe's. And many years later, through DNA ancestry databases, they were able to link them to their family in Florida. And they continued to look for the little baby, Holly. And she was found alive and living in Oklahoma. She had been adopted by a pastor and his wife, and she had been searching for her biological parents through the years, and she was able to find out her true identity. It's a good possibility that someone took this baby, and he could be out there right now not knowing who he is. So I hope that her mother, if she has any living siblings, nieces and nephews, that they would put their DNA in these databases and possibly find out if he could be out there somewhere. Her mother says that she knows that Bonnie did not just run away. The police said, well, she took this money out of the bank. She maybe just decided to go off and start a new life with her son. Well, she had a minivan that she had purchased herself. She had just started a job. She was a responsible young woman, even though she was only 18 and just had a newborn baby. If she had wanted to start a new life, she had still $35,000 sitting in her bank account untouched. It just doesn't make any sense. And her mother is just asking if anyone knows anything to come forward. Her mother says it's possible that she may have been spotted by a stranger with this money. Maybe someone followed her there from the bank. And, it makes sense that it's a good possibility that someone could have seen her with this money. But why did they take the baby? There is an age progression photo of her and Jeremy. She went missing from Brandon, Florida on April the 28th, 1993. She's a white female. She would be 48 years old today. She was 5'6" and weighed around 150 pounds. She was last seen wearing a blue t-shirt, pink denim shorts, and white sandals. Her 1986 silver Dodge Caravan was found in the parking lot of a I think the name of the store was a cash and carry type of store that is now a Walmart. She had blonde hair and blue eyes and a large surgical scar on her stomach, and her ears are pierced. She drove into the shopping center in the intersection of Lumsden Pinecrest in Brandon, Florida, at approximately 9 p.m. She had her infant son Jeremy with her and planned to do some shopping. She had taken out an additional $75 on top of the $15,000, and she planned to do some shopping, pick up a few things at the store for her son, and then return home. The $75 was found in her purse. Now it says here she gave the money to the man. So he must have said, yes, she gave me this money. Bonnie had dreams of one day opening up and running her own horse farm. And this case is still unsolved, despite the fact that she was declared legally dead in 1999. And I don't know if it says Jeremy was declared dead, but she was. Maybe that was just because the mother had to do that in order to close out these bank accounts and, be able to put closure to this, to her daughter's disappearance. And that's really all I could find on her story. Thanks for watching.